Okay. Think I've got stuff working right. Okay. So I'm gonna try running distraction.exe during this because I've got it running off of the other GPU, and I'm hoping that is what was causing the problems. That it was running off the main GPU. And also, I've made a couple changes to distraction.exe, which I apparently did not finalize before today. I guess I forgot that I was working on it. Uh, well, I've got. I managed to get it back to this point. I'm still not exactly too sure what I want to do from here, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not really leaving enough room for the head. I don't know. I'll figure that out whenever I get to that point. So, let's. Why can't I go out of object mode? Oh, because I didn't actually have it selected. Okay. So, I'm gonna select edges. I wonder if I can select edge loops. Nope. That did not do a thing. And why'd you select? Stop selecting lines that I'm not trying to select. Okay. Okay, I think that's what I want. But what I want to do is extrude. And the question is, how do I extrude straight up? Because that's not... Z. Now that was not nearly far enough. But I think that's a good place to have some kind of angle transition. So I'm just gonna... Oh wait, crap. So press Z to lock it in. Do that. And then do another one. That I'm gonna just bring all the way. I'd say up to about there. I think that should be about shoulder height. Now, a lot of this is gonna get knocked out. I know that much. A lot of this right here is gonna get knocked out. The question is, how? How is it gonna get knocked out? And you weren't supposed to be. Okay, let's go with vertex. Select. You know, it's nice that there's a glare on my screen, like right here, right in this entire area that's highlighted. And that's from my ceiling light. It's always been there. And that's why I always take a while to look at the stuff up there. Because I have to shift around to see it. Still not too sure what I'm going to be doing down here. But I at least have an idea of how I want this to be. So I'm gonna grab those 2 points, cursor to in between those two, because I don't want those to move. At least not along the y-axis, is it? I don't really know. I think it's supposed to be the y-axis, because that's the one that's going. That's the green axis, right? Okay, now I can finish selecting them. And now scale from 3D cursor. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna scoot it back a bit so that it's more like that. Now the question is, how do I take care of the rest of this? Do I try to use a boolean? Or do I try to just sculpt it? Um, hmm. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out, like, this area. The question is, how am I gonna do it? I kind of want to keep this transition angle down here. I'm just not too sure how to cut it like that. Not an edge slide. Not a vertex slide. Bisect? No, loop cut. That's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use a loop cut. But that's not where I want it. Loop cut and slide. There we go. Yeah, right about there. You know what I'm gonna do? No, let's go into here. I'm just gonna add a mirror modifier. Just so I can see how it's doing. I need to figure out how to attach the neck. I'm still not quite sure how to take care of that just yet. Let's see here. Let's go back to the selector. Let's selection to cursor. And then let's move this back to median point. And we're just gonna slide that down. Gonna grab these two, slide them over. Yeah, let's just, you know, I think I actually know what I'm gonna do with the rest of these vertexes. And that is merge to last. So that we have kind of a open area here. I think that'll work. You know what? Object mode, add mesh. Do I want to go with a round cube, or do I want to go for UV sphere or an icosphere? I don't really know what these really are. I'm gonna create a round cube, see what... Oh. That's what it is. Radius. A radius of 1 makes a ball. I don't know, is that adequate? What? Oh. Okay. I gotta shrink it a lot more. Okay, let's go with 0.25 for each of these. Wow, I gotta shrink it so much from this menu. I don't know, is this what I actually wanted? Oh no. I'm gonna add another object. I'm gonna add in icosphere. Subdivisions. No, I think the round cube is actually what I want, because that just has too many triangles, in my opinion. And that has too few. Yeah, so I'm just gonna scale this thing down. The question is how much? No, we want this one. Yeah, okay. No, let's go with 2.5. scale it down even further, basically. I still think that's a bit too big. Let's bump it down to 20. Like 0.2. Let's... I'm also gonna throw a mirror modifier on it. Just so that whenever I do this, it doesn't do anything. How do I get it to mirror? By going that way. I guess it's referencing itself? There we go. Yeah, I feel like I need to shrink that a little more. So let's go down to 15.15. Maybe thinking about bringing that out a bit. And what would just 0.1 like? I'm feeling that's a little small for what I'm going for. Then scoot this out a bit further. Okay, so back to this. Edit. No, wrong point. Okay, so now we kind of scoot this way. Maybe scoot that back in a little. Because then we grab these two and subdivide. Here's subdivides. There's unsubdivide. But where's subdivide? Oh, it's all the way up here. Okay. I'm gonna go with 4 points of subdivision. Basically 3 cuts for subdivision. Okay, so now we go back to this, select that, and select that, and turn on that. Oh, we need to, how big is this? Hold up. Oh, holy crap. Okay, bring that back in. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why it was so big. But basically, no, I don't really want to move the end point. Okay, let's change the shape. Let's change it to sphere. So that it's more like this. Let's see what happens whenever I change it a bit. For square? No, that didn't really. What about sharp? No, that was basically doing what I was doing. It's smooth, but linear? No. Constant? Oh, that just moves everything around it to the same point, basically. Random. No. Might have to shift it around a little. No, I kind of prefer the root. Because I kind of want to bring this back up a bit. wasn't thinking about the inward dip, but I've got a bit of an idea. I kind of wish there was a mirror tool where I could be like, yeah, mirror what I'm doing on this to this. Not just, oh yeah, here, try to mirror things without any of my input. Okay, let's go back to object mode. Okay, so for right now, they're just kind of hanging out in the air. But we're actually gonna go into edit mode. And, huh. How am I gonna do this? It's like, I want to try to be as low poly as I can be with this. But also, how do I accomplish that? I want to pull a cylinder off of this and then have another joint, basically. Question is, how do I get a cylinder off of this? I don't know, maybe I just, isn't there like a circularize tool. Interactive mirror, I don't know. No, I don't want to delete anything. Vertex? No. Blend from shape. No. Propagate? Apply selected vertex with all other shape. No. Not shape keys. Face? I don't know what beautify faces means. No. You know, I think there was like some kind of tool that would let you circularize. And I forget what tool that was. Shear, bend, push, pull, warp, randomize, string, skin resize. I don't know what that means. Move? Flatten? No. Spin? No. Poly build? I don't know. To fear? Nope, that just, what does that exactly do? It just... That's a weird one. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna extrude. Which way is it? X? Yeah, so I'm gonna extrude it to, I don't know. I'm gonna say about there. And then, I'll make a loop cut out there. I don't like that it's following this. Even? Linear? What? Okay. What in the world? I don't know what that was. Oh, what that was about. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I got an idea. Hold on, hold up, hold up. No, I want to select. Uh, I don't think that's really gonna work because it's kind of bowed out. I think what I'm gonna have to do is boolean this. Okay, back to object mode. Add an object. Let's add a cube. This is a massive cube. Let's just make it about that size. Scroll it over. And let's add a boolean function to this. Or modifier. Boolean, 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 where's boolean? There we go. We're gonna shove it above the mirror. Intersect? Difference? No, intersect. Union? No, difference. Yeah. I want difference. So I can just kind of scoot it like that. And then I can go back to this and apply the modifier. So that whenever I move this, it's now like that. So now I can actually, I'm going to keep the cube in case I need to do another operation like that. But we're going to go back to this, edit mode. Gonna loop cut down here. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. yeah, so if you have it even, the loop cut will even up to one of the ends of the surface. So before it was evened up to here. But then, when I clicked flip, it was evening up to this one. I might duplicate this structure and then union it off to the end because I forget what size I had for this because there's a whole bunch of stuff that determined its size. Because I scaled it down and I also made it a different size, so now I have to figure that out. But yeah, I am at least going to keep that, so I'm going to duplicate object. Gonna do that. I'm going to rotate it. Uh, 180. I don't need the mirror modifier on this. I'm gonna move it out to here. I'm going to add another Boolean function. But this time it's going to be union, and it's going to be round cube 1. No, I don't want to intersect, because that's what that does. I want a union, which... something's not right. No, object mode. I want this one. Why is it acting so weird? I don't know, maybe I do it like that, because it's, looking pretty clean. Because if I scoot it in any further, we get whatever that atrocity is. I mean, I can always just scoot it in. So I'm not worried about that. So I think I am actually going to apply that, I'm going to move these out of the way. And then I'm going to go into this. Yeah, I thought there'd be something like that. Well, nope. Select. And let's see if we can do edge loops. And no. Ring? No, that's not what I wanted. Why? Hold up. I'm trying to select that. Okay, dissolve edges. That did not. Okay, delete edges. Oh no. What? Let's dissolve vertices? Nope. Dissolve edges. And then, dissolve edges? Okay, we've got edges selected. Why, oh my goodness. Hold on. Okay. Let's, merge. I don't know what collapse does. Just do at center. Merge at center. That's why it worked so well. It didn't actually work. Okay, that seems fine. Yeah, that all seems fine. So now if I start selecting these and do edge loop, it didn't get them all. That one's still a bit iffy, it seems. Okay, these two are not happy. Why is that? Well, let's go back to this. I mean, those should be connected at this point. The problem is right here. Yep. We had it sorted. And now we shall finish dissolving edges. I'm wondering if I should increase the size of this one. All I know is I think it needs to, hold on. Let's do it like this. Select that. Do that, just because. And then just kind of scoot it in a bit. And there we basically have the shoulder. You know what? What happens if I, select all those and spherize? That... How? Okay, whatever. I don't know what spherize does. Do we have a smooth vertex? No. Smooth vertices? No. Is there like a smooth function? Yeah, smooth function. Okay, so... Okay, the smooth function did what I want. Kind of. There we go. Get rid of the smoothing on the x-axis. What happens if we repeat it? It just kind of shrinks it. What if we set it to 0? It just sets to 1. Which is basically trying to keep the original size, I guess. But yeah, that kind of did what I wanted it to do, so... Yeah, the best way to do, like, multi-dimensional, multi-axis joints for, like, video games kind of like a VR chat, is to just use a sphere for your robot joint. Because there's too many moving parts. I mean, you'd have to do a bunch of constraints if you were to have like a proper hinge-like thing that also turns and all that. And VR chat doesn't like constraints or really any of the special features. Okay, so the next thing that I want for this is kind of a cover. Let me see something. Let's extrude. Uh, Along normals. Uh, oh, uh, hold on. No. Okay, so let's go back to those. Extrude individual? I just don't know why it's pointing that way. Because that's obviously the biggest problem we're having here, I think. I don't know. All I know is that I feel like these things should be extruding differently. Hold on, let me check the norms. We go into here, and yes, I see. We need to flip some normals. That's why it's being weird. Okay, time to flip some normals. So we need to grab this face, edit. How do I invert normals again? Normals. Alted. Uh, Flip. There we go. This one. Alt-N. Flip. Alt-N. Flip. Okay, those normals are good now. This one. No, this one. Okay. All those over there are good, so now we gotta grab those. Yeah, those look like the ones that need flipped. So Alt N flip. And it looks like all of the normals are good. So now I can go back to here, go down to here, and turn off normal rendering. Then I can just kind of... Yeah, I'll extrude along normals now. Seeing as that the normals should be normal. And now, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. And seeing as that I'm probably gonna drag this over top of this. Probably not so much over here. I could probably delete quite a few of these polygons. Okay, let's move to move. And I'm just gonna kind of do a bit of this type of stuff. Oh, wait, no, I still got proportional. Hmm. Yeah, I want it to be about that wide. Okay, let's, nope, I want to grab that one, and this guy. And just kind of scoot it over. And then we'll go back to vertices. I'm just gonna bring these two back a bit. Okay. Yeah, that